Hey, fifth graders! We are going to start the week off strong by starting to talk about polygons. So our goal for today and tomorrow is recognizing two-dimensional shapes and classifying them into categories and subcategories. So just a quick refresher, a polygon is any two-dimensional or flat shape that has three or more enclosed straight sides and angles. Then we have regular polygons where all sides and angles are equal, and irregular polygon where some sides and angles are different. So this is just a quick refresher to see what you remember about polygons and what you need to brush up on. So to start, we have a quick visual of the polygon family. So do you remember the triangle family, the quadrilateral family, and then more relatives of the polygon family? And when you're looking at this, can you give me some attributes of each of the triangle family? Do you remember those important math vocabulary words? If not, that's okay. We have something ready for you to activate your prior knowledge. So polygons, if you look at these vocabulary words, acute angle, obtuse angle, right angle, and can you match their definition? And then can you match their picture example? If you can't, that is okay. We have our definition look up here, and then as you go through it, so if these angles are confusing, there will be a spot where you can look at explanations of angles and videos of angles. So the triangle family, just a quick review. I love this illustration right here because you can see the corner point of an angle is called the vertex. The two straight sides that come out are called the arms, and the angle is the amount of turn between each arm. So that's a great visual for me. There's an explaining video, and then there's a song if that's what helps your brain. So you're going to look at these shapes and say, okay, an equilateral triangle is A. Then you're going to look at the vocabulary words. Can you match the definition to the vocabulary word to the picture example? And then you're going to go and do the same thing for the quadrilateral family and for the polygon family. And then you're going to match the vocabulary word to the definition to the picture example. In this slide, you're going to use the line tool to match the name of each polygon to its correct description. To use the line tool, you'll go to Insert, Shape, and actually you're going to insert line. And then you're going to go from point, so this is a decagon. Do I know what a decagon is right away? If I do, I'm going to go right across, and there is my line. So in this slide, you're going to look at each shape given under the column titled Example. You're going to write the name of each shape in the column under Name. Click on the green box and type your answer. You'll pick which polygon it is, or maybe it's not a polygon. Then in the next slide, look at both polygons in each box. Click on the green box and fill in the blank with the correct word. So they could be decagons, heptagons, hexagons, nonagons, octagons, pentagons, quadrilaterals, triangles, and then you're going to determine if they're regular or irregular. Remember, in the beginning, I said regular polygons are ones that are equal sides, and irregular are ones that are not equal sides. So that will help. And then another one with classifying polygons. Then we're back to vocabulary. So do you know what congruent sides are, adjacent sides, congruent angles, and adjacent angles? And it says practice on the next slide. So you're going to head to that next slide. You're going to drag the polygons into the correct part of the Venn diagram. Complete the sentence below the Venn diagram. Click on the green box and fill in the blank with the correct word. So the polygons in the middle section are blank polygons. How can you classify triangles by angle and by side length? Drag the answer pieces on top of the yellow dashed boxes. So you're looking at classifying them by their angle or classifying them by their side length. In the first chart, place a check mark beside any right triangle. So it says right triangle, and if it's a right triangle, I'm going to grab a check mark and put it right in there. Then the angle measurements of different triangles have been given. Use the measurements to determine the classification of each triangle. Drag the red circle over the correct answer. You can stretch the circle so that it fits on top of the answer if you want. And then I'll put it back. In this first chart, place a check mark beside any scalene triangles. In the second part, the isosceles, and in the third, equilateral triangles. Delete any unused check marks when done. Same thing here, the side lengths of different triangles have been given. Use the measurements to determine the classification for each triangle. Drag the red circle and you can stretch it if you need to. And then we're going to classify triangles again. So we're just practicing to make sure we've got all this down before we move on. Classify each triangle by angle and by side. So I'm looking at this triangle. Do I know what it is by its angle? And do I know what it is by its side length? We're going to keep going. The side lengths and angles of different triangles have been given. Use the measurements to determine the classification for each triangle by angle and by side. And then we've got some vocabulary highlights to end it up. We're going to classify quadrilaterals. Use your knowledge of quadrilaterals to complete the diagram. Drag the answer pieces on top of the yellow dashed boxes. Complete each sentence. Again, you're dragging it to finish the sentence or to fill in the blank. A blank is both a rectangle and a rhombus. Place the sentences in the correct box based on which word always, sometimes, or never fits in the blank. Drag the pieces on top of the yellow dashed boxes. So it says a trapezoid is blank a quadrilateral. Is it always a quadrilateral? Is it sometimes a quadrilateral, or is it never a quadrilateral? And we're going to keep going there. We're going to name each polygon. Each polygon may have more than one name. Click on the light green box and type in the letters of all the polygons with that name. So I'm looking at which one. A could be which ones. And then I'm going to put everyone in there that could be it. Which names can be used to classify each shape? Click on each green box to type in all the possible names for that shape. Some of the green boxes may be left empty. Again, we're practicing classifying quadrilaterals. We're going to drag that red circle, circle the most specific name for each quadrilateral, and use the figures to determine if each statement is true or false. Drag the blue circle over the correct letter in the chart. T for true and F for false. And here is some extra, if you still want to look for extra songs on angles or types of lines or triangles or quadrilaterals. And then there's some extra practice on the bottom. You've got Khan Academy, Interactive Quadrilaterals is a fun one, and IXL. If you have any questions, please reach out to your teacher. Otherwise, this is your job for classifying polygons, triangles, and quadrilaterals.